It's the 4th of July, and as vacationers flock to the shore, fluke flock to the surf. I set out to find some fluke in the waves,
yes,
chasing a bite that's lighting up like fireworks.
We've got ourselves a beautiful morning out here this morning. It's the 4th of July. It's my favorite holiday of the year, actually. Can't beat it. Got summertime, fishing, barbecuing, nothing better than it. But after the way it's been in terms of weather lately, this is a welcome surprise. So I can't wait to get out there, get fishing. We're gonna throw the single jig around a little bit, looking for some fluke, and let's make something happen. All right, this morning we're starting out with this Gulp turbo shrimp. We're skipping out on the jerk shad. We're gonna try something different this time and see if this produces. So we're working with a little bit of a trough right in front of us. Not a big one, but kind of all you need is just a little deep water to find you some fluke. I'm gonna move up a ways a little bit. Remember, the most important thing about fluking is that you don't wanna just stay in one spot. You wanna be constantly moving, trying to find where the fish are. If you're not getting bites in a certain spot, take that as a sign to move to the next one. So I'm gonna move up a little ways. There's actually a little bit of bird action working over here, or there was at least. So it might be a good sign that there's some bait around, something for these fish to feed on. I gotta say, this water is really warm right now. It's pretty nice. Oh man, I was taking a video with my phone. I think we have a fish on. I can't believe I wasn't even, oh, it came off. Oh man.
With the single jig, I'm usually casting out up current and then reeling in the slack and giving 2 twitches of the rod. I follow that same process all the way back to the lip of the beach.
There we go. Fish is back. It's a little tiny guy on the shrimp. All right, first of the day, we got the skunk off the board. Take a look at how lightly colored this fluke is. That's because it's on that sandy bottom. The sand makes them a little brighter in coloration, so pretty cool observation there. So I'm glad that that fluke actually hit this, because I was just thinking about changing over to the jerk shad, but ended up hitting the shrimp, which is a good sign. So we're just gonna keep throwing this out there. So I forgot to mention, it's actually outgoing tide right now. That low tide's coming in, so we're gonna be able to see the structure a lot clearer and find some good fluking spots. There we go, it's another fish. Again, just letting that shrimp sit in the surf. Didn't really even give it much action. Ah, it's a little bit of a better fish. Not huge, but slightly bigger than the last one. All right, looks like we're in the right spot here. Fluke number 2 of the morning. Peace. There we go. It's another. All right. Heavy fish, but small one. Not a bad one. Fish number 3 of the morning on the Gulp shrimp. Another small guy, but we're still getting fish. I'll take the numbers. Once you find a spot that you're catching fluke in, at that point, there's really no reason to leave it. So if you're catching fluke all day in one spot, no need to move.
You can tell when a fish is small by the way it bites. With the jig, it nibbles on the gulp versus taking it all in one chomp. So if you want to hook the fish, you may want to give it a few seconds to fully take the gulp. You'll have to feel for that weight to make sure the fish has it. So what I do is I give it a few small jigs just to feel that increasing weight and to see when the fish is on before setting the hook.
Number 4, this feels like a little tiny one. But again, I'm not chasing. Well, I'm always chasing big ones, but again, I'll take lots of action any day of the week. Yeah, this guy's a little tiny one. Smallest of the morning. Because the water's pretty clear today and the sun is shining bright, a lot of times that's when this white presentation is gonna shine. Man, back to back, let's go. That feels like a little better fish. Must just be a school of little guys over here though. Good head shakes on him. Yeah, all right. Bigger than the last one. This guy's got some pretty cool like white spots on him though. All around here, these white spots look pretty cool. All right, man, tell the keepers it's their turn. Oh, that feels like a good one. Can't lose this guy. Feels like a good fluke. Did I lose him? Oh no. He bit a lot harder than he let on. He just shook his head like crazy. This is a little one. We've had no fluke worth measuring this morning. I'm hoping that changes soon. If you didn't get a chance to watch my fluke seminar, I'll link it here. But in that, I talk about how I think location tends to matter more than tides and times for fluking. As you can see, the sun is high in the sky right now. We're approaching dead low tide, and I'm still getting on fish. Reason being because I found a nice deep pocket of water and some good structure where the fish like to hang out. And if I'm being honest, low tide is probably my favorite tide to fish for fluke. The current's a little lighter, you can wade out into the water, cast out into a nice deep hole, and you can see the structure a lot easier to find these fluke.
Now that it's dead low tide, let's take a look at the structure to see why this spot is a spot that's producing fish. When looking for fluke, we're looking for deeper pockets of water that will hold fish. So how do you go about finding that? At low tide, it's easier to see the bottom structure and those good fluke fishing spots. Let's take a look from above the waves. Notice the white churned up water where the waves are crashing to the left and the right? Those are where the sandbars are located. Waves will crash over sandbars and will roll through areas of deeper water. Check out the water between the two sandbars. The waves here roll through and don't fully crest and crash until they reach the lip of the beach. This pocket or hole is where you'll want to look to find fluke. Here's another perspective from the side. Take a look at how the waves crash out here, but in the middle of the two sandbars, the waves don't crash and continue to roll through until they hit the lip of the beach. This is the pocket of deeper water that I'm finding these fish in. Now, you may not have a drone, so here's one final angle from where I'm standing on the beach so you can better see what you'll likely be looking at when fishing. Again, notice the breaking waves to the left, and the waves that roll through in the middle and only crash once reaching the lip of the beach. When you find these spots, this is where you'll want to spend some time hunting for the fluke. If you don't catch anything, move to the next spot you find with similar wave formations until you start getting those bites.
There we go, it's a fish. Head shaking like crazy. Bet you that means he's small. Oh, actually, I don't know. Nah. It's about the same size as all these other ones have been. All right, another fish there. So just out of curiosity, I measured that fish and that came in at about 15 inches. I think that's our best of the day, but we're still 3 inches short of a keeper.
I ended up catching a lot more fluke that morning, but the theme of short fish remained. The Gulp shrimp really put in some work on catching numbers and grew as potentially one of my new favorite presentations. But, determined to land a keeper, I set out the next day to continue the hunt.
Okay, I'm out here for round 2. We're going for some keepers this morning. So I'm going to be starting with this pink shine 6-inch jerk shad on the 1/4 ounce jig. And that low tide's still coming in, which isn't going to stop us from hopefully catching some fluke. I'm in that same spot as yesterday, and hopefully there's still fluke here. If not, we're going to do a lot of moving around until we can find some good bites.
It took a while before I got my first bite of the morning, but after lots of casting, I finally got one.
There we go, that's our first fish of the day. Looks like a tiny one. All right, there we go, a little fluke right there. First of the morning. We know they're here. Ooh, missed that swipe. Just gonna leave it there. See if it comes back. I'm not feeling any bites. Must have scared him off. But I'm noticing that at least the first bite this morning kind of happened in the same spot. I've been casting out to my left, and then this jig has just been drifting kind of from left to right, and then right about halfway towards the right, that's when that bite happened. And same thing just happened right now. Fluke are migrating fish. They migrate from deep offshore waters in the spring and then head into those back bays. And then around this time of year in July, they start heading out of those back bays through the inlets and spreading out along the beaches. So July and August are typically the best months to fish for fluke off the surf. All right, I've moved over to the next little pocket of water here. Doesn't look as productive as that last one I was in, but we'll find out. Here we go, there's finally a bite. Yes. Oh man, waited for that one for a while. And it's a little shorty. What else is new? But at least we got on one. Lots of head shakes on this guy. Just endless shorts.
After this fish, that was it for the morning. Not a single bite after that. Pretty discouraging after coming off the prior morning with a high number of fish landed, but this just gave me more motivation to get out again for another session the next day.
Day 3 being out here of trying to catch a keeper. Let's hope that we've got some good fish in store for us today. We're gonna try out this white jerk shad to start out, and I hope that it brings us exactly what we're looking for. We had a strong south wind yesterday, which I'm hoping didn't slow down the bite at all, but I've been out here for a little while and haven't gotten really anything, so I don't know. Take that as a bad sign so far. Oh, that thing just chewed it. Oh my gosh. Everything just keeps coming off. Finally, our first fish of the day. Oh my goodness, took forever. It's not a bad fish. Oh, and he popped out. It took me forever to get this fish, but we finally got something after moving around for a little while. At least we know there's fish to be caught here. All right, let's try and go for another one here. Finally. Oh man. Well, it's all these same size fish. Oh, there he goes. It's all these same size little guys. I guess we'll take what we can get though. Thanks for playing, dude.
I switched back to the trusty turbo shrimp and waded out onto the sandbar since it was dead low tide. I was targeting this one pocket of deeper water a little farther out and finally got a good bite.
Yes. Oh, this feels like a good fish. That feels like a good fluke. All I had to do was walk out a little bit onto the sandbar. Walking backwards as I'm reeling this guy in. There it is. There it is. That's the keeper. That's the keeper we're looking for. Let's go. All right, here's the keeper we've been looking for all weekend. We're gonna measure this guy up, but I'm pretty certain that's 18 inches.
When this fish was bumped up against the front of the tape measure, it was just under 18 inches by a hair. Absolutely heartbreaking after a weekend of hoping for a keeper.
I think I got a little overexcited there. That fish was 17 7/8 inches, so can't keep it. It's under 18, but I think it looked a lot bigger than it actually was considering everything I've caught this weekend with shorts, but hey, we got pretty close. I'll keep trying throughout the day, but if we don't get a keeper, at least we had that nice fish and a good fight.
Well, I didn't accomplish my goal of catching a keeper fluke off the surf, but that's okay because I caught plenty of fish throughout the weekend. I always try to keep it real and say how not every trip is going to go as planned. But if you're getting out there, learning something new, having fun, and enjoying nature, that's what fishing's all about. And obviously catching the big fish when you can. But as always, I hope you learned something new in this video, and I hope you enjoyed watching. I'll catch you on the next one.